Hey guys, welcome to At Home Fitness with Coach A. I am Coach A, and this is the YouTube channel that aims to bring you guys in gym quality coaching and workouts for your at home or garage gym needs. Now, you guys are going to see a lot of changes happening on the videos over the next couple weeks. Doing our best to try and bring you guys clear, concise videos as short as possible that makes you want to watch them, receive that coaching, and keep clicking back. As always, please hit the subscribe or like button below to get those workouts delivered to you on the daily, and let us know how you do. Post your workout results, post your weights, post your movements. Super interested in hearing back from everybody. Without further ado, here's your workout. All right, guys, it's time to get this Friday party started. It is October 16th, and we are on day number 215 of the At Home Fitness Programming Series. Our strength piece today is going to be the last week of our 1.5 rep bench press cycle. So, looking at our 5 rounds, our max effort set -1. If you haven't seen this yet, essentially what that means is you are going to do as many reps as possible minus that one last rep that you are fighting through or possibly not fighting through. So we're trying to remove the deteriorated last rep in the set. So if you get to that last rep, or what you think is the last rep, and you are 50-50 or less about that next rep, which could possibly be the last rep, then I don't want you to do it. I want you to set the weight down, take your 2-minute rest, and then head on to the next round. Notice this week that it is 5 rounds. We're not looking at a different option for rounds here. I want you to force 5. And remember, our 1.5 reps on the bench press is control, control, control. We aren't dropping those dumbbells into the hole, so to speak, and then bouncing them back out. Now, the workout for today is going to be for time. We have a straight through chipper. This shouldn't take incredibly long. It's probably not going to be as fast for most people as the 9-minute AMRAPs we've been performing on Friday, but it shouldn't be all that much longer than it either. You guys are going to start with 10 strict pull-ups, and you're going to move on to 20 handstand push-ups. If you can kip, those are fine being kipped or strict. Then we are going to complete 30 toe to bar, 40 lunge hops, hopping from one to the next. Every lunge counts in the landing there. 50 Russian kettlebell swings, Russian meaning straight out in front of the chest, not overhead. 53-35, the weight for the guys and the ladies. A 60-second plank hold. Push yourself. You can get that plank hold in 60 seconds, not 2 sets of 30 seconds or 3 sets of 20 seconds. Stay there, breathe, hang on. If you can roll right into those mountain climbers, 1, 2, counting right, left, feel free. Otherwise, shake it out after that hardy plank hold and crush those mountain climbers to finish this out. On this, I'm not looking for the slow mountain climbers, guys, so they don't have to be like a nice slow flex knee to elbow. This can be the quicker, high heart rate and make you breathe really hard variety to finish this out. Stick around if you guys want to see movement modifications and demonstrations. Welcome back to another round of the all-inclusive fun pec popping 1.5 rep bench press series. This is the last week we're going to do this, guys, especially for a strength piece. So let's really focus on making our improvements this week. Keeping in mind, control, control, control is the name of the game here. Lower down, start the press, lower back down, and finish. No more than half a rep up on that intermediate rep press. And finally, the last piece I want to toss in here is that, remember, we're max effort -1, so I don't want to see those shaky failure reps. Hey, yo, friendly little chipper for you guys today. We're going to start ourselves once this clock gets popping with a 10 going into 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 seconds, and finally finishing with 70. The 10 is going to be strict pull-ups. I'm only going to run through about 1/10 of the reps here. So we hit our 1 strict pull-up. We're into our 2 handstand push-ups. Excuse me for trying to avoid the cord there. Those can be strict or those can be kipping if you guys want. And then we're into our 3 or 30 toe to bar. Obviously I'm kipping here. If you want to go at that, I would suggest that. 30 strict toe to bar is going to take a while. Into my 40 lunge hops. I want you guys focusing on throwing the hands through, throwing the hips through, shifting those feet, getting a nice capable landing as we hop from one to the next. Into our 50 Russian kettlebell swings, shoulder height, all hips, even though it is a short range of motion. Let's utilize the hips and the power of the hip extension as opposed to picking that weight up in the air. Following that, I'm going to try and hold myself a 60-second plank straight through for the entirety of that movement before finishing with my 70 total mountain climbers. Stay tuned for movement modifications. Alright guys, so let's talk about how we're going to modify the 1.5 bench press. So obviously, if we have a bench, we don't have dumbbells, but we have a barbell, we can still do the same thing. It's just going to be with the barbell instead of the dumbbells. So pretty obvious modification there. If we're looking at 2 kettlebells or a single kettlebell, or honestly even a single dumbbell, the idea is the same. If you were to be looking down on me sitting on the bench, right, knees are out to the side, I am going to set those shoulder blades back. I'm going to keep one of those arms out to the side, and I'm going to work through that 1.5 single-sided unilateral movement. No big deal, right? As we usually talk about when we do stuff like this, pick the side you think you're going to get the least amount of reps on, equal that out with the other side. If we don't have a bench or we don't have an easy way to conform those weights, what I want you guys to do instead of trying to do a floor press possibly is to do push-ups. So 1.5, same idea, same half range of motion, same full range of motion, just in a push-up position as opposed to a flat on the ground floor press position. All right, in which case we're going to set those shoulders back possibly a little more than we normally would on a push-up. I want you to be able to maintain shoulder positional integrity here, especially as you guys get to the top on push-up. Sometimes people round their shoulders out. Let's not do that here. I want you guys to try and stay in that mindset of the bench press. So it's going to be, I lower all the way down, I touch my chest, I control off a little bit, maybe think about 90-degree elbows, what we're looking for. I lower back down, and then I finish that rep, okay? So mechanically speaking, it's pretty much the same thing. Obviously, we're pressing body weight instead of pressing an external load. All right, guys, lots of stuff to get through on the modifications for this workout. We have handstand push-ups, we have toe to bar, we have pull-ups, we have all kinds of stuff. So let's get right into it. I'm not necessarily going to give you guys all the modifications, but I'm going to give you ones that will work. For the first piece, we're going to have those strict pull-ups. Whatever you would normally modify pull-ups with is what I want you to use here, whether it's that TRX strap or those ring rows where we're laying back and doing our pulls. If that's the case, I want you to make them hard, make them heavy, get the body flat, try and pull as much of your body weight as you can. Second one is going to be the handstand push-ups. This is where we're going to take our weights and we're either going to put ourselves in a Z press position or possibly a kneeling upright hip strict press from the bottom there. How I would choose to pick one of those would be based on your weights. If the weights are too heavy to do the Z press with, then maybe I would pop up on the knees and press from there. If your overhead range of motion is pretty aggressive in terms of bad then or lacking, then I would probably do the one on the knees. One of the other options, if that's the case, by the way, is to take a kneeling position, single side, and press from there, because it's going to be easier to stabilize yourself, specifically your torso, and press out in front of the forehead a little bit than it will be to do it with both sides. Now, we have our toe to bar, right? We're hopping up on the bar, taking the feet up. We can either make this a knee raise, we can make this an L raise, whatever keeps you moving, or honestly, because I want this to be an aggressive workout, pop down on the ground, throw those legs straight, ab mat sit-ups all the way back, up to the toes. 40 is going to be our 40 lunge hops. If we're looking at a lunge hop being aggressive, then super simple, we're just going to pop ourselves into a lunge step. If If you have a problem with lunge steps, then I'm gonna take my bench here and I'm gonna do my step ups onto the bench. I say bench, not box, because that probably means that the knee position is going to be below the hip, which is a little bit more of the work amount that I'm looking for there, as opposed to above the hip, which we usually use as a modification for box jumps, okay? On 50 Russian kettlebell swings, we have our dumbbells, we can do the outside the hip and leg swings. Keep in mind, fatigue might be a factor at this point, so we're gonna have to be really focused on accuracy. If we have an intermediate weight dumbbell, we might just wanna grab that dumbbell and swing it inside the hips. You guys can always do an RDL, maybe with a little shrug on top of it to get some transition of energy there if you want. The plank hold, that's coming after that for 60 seconds. Do the plank hold. If we have an issue with plank holds, again, it's one of those things that we probably have an issue with working out in general. Maybe a physical limitation that needs to be addressed first. If that's the case, let me know. We'll figure it out. Otherwise, break up the plank hold. If you can't get the 60 seconds in total, that's fine. Chip away at it to get there, all right, as opposed to unbroken. And then 70 on the mountain climbers to finish. Keep in mind that I'm not looking for this on my mountain climbers. It can be hopping those toes back and forth. The easiest modification for that, if there's a reason why we can't do that, is to elevate the hands with a bench, so I'm more here hopping those feet back and forth instead of flat in that full-on plank position.